Well, is it just me, or does it seem like gubernatorial candidate Wendy Davis is digging herself a pretty good hole?
You know, sometimes it's just best to shut up. Mm-hmm. I don't mean to be mean, but okay, here we are in January. We have 11 months to go until the general election. She has no real primary challenge to speak of. There are other people on the ballot, but they don't stand a chance. Abbott has other people on the ballot. They don't stand a chance. Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is going to be an Abbott versus Davis race. You've got 11 months to go. The Dallas Morning News runs a story Sunday, and we covered this yesterday on the program, that basically poked a few holes in her story. Now, remember, her story is one of struggle. Her story is one of hardship. Her story is one of rising from poverty into the limelight as the first Democratic candidate that legitimately has a chance to win the Texas governor's mansion since Ann Richards.
Yeah, single mom living in a trailer, working hard, put herself through Harvard Law School.
Now, for perspective, here's what she had to say when she announced her campaign for governor.
By the time I was 19, I was already on my way to a divorce, living in a tiny trailer with my daughter, Amber. I was barely making ends meet, and sometimes they didn't. It wasn't uncommon for me to come home to find my power turned off or that my phone had been disconnected.
Okay, she's living in this tiny trailer. Her daughter, Amber, she's working 2 jobs. She's working for the doctor's office during the day. She is waiting tables at night. And sometimes she comes home and the power's been turned off because she didn't have enough money to pay the bill. Mm-hmm. Well, as it turns out, she only lived about 3 months in that family trailer. The trailer was owned by her family, so it's not like she had a huge rent payment to pay there. She lived there 3 months before moving into an apartment. Now, she did wait tables at night. That much is true. But she waited tables at the Stage West Theater, which was her dad's restaurant. So she had support. And we talked yesterday about how her dad basically set her up with her husband, Jeff Davis, her second husband.
Yeah.
She, by the way, wasn't divorced at 19. She was 21 when she divorced. She marries Davis, I believe, when she is 24. They had dated 2 years prior to that. She took classes at Tarrant County Junior College, as it was known at the time. It's now Tarrant County Community College. And went on to TCU. Her husband, Jeff Davis. Now, remember, she's a single mom going to school, working 2 jobs, putting herself through school, right?
Right.
Well, her husband, Jeff Davis, pays her final 2 years at Texas Christian University.
And then?
And then she gets accepted to Harvard Law School.
And who paid for that?
Davis.
Uh-huh.
Her husband, Jeff Davis. Now, nobody begrudges this.
No.
Nobody begrudges the fact she got into law school. Mm-hmm. Nobody begrudges the fact that her husband paid for her to go through law school. Nothing wrong with that. Mm-mm. Not at all. Now, for what it's worth, she's a single mom struggling to work her way through college. Where's Harvard?
Yeah.
It's not in DFW.
Nope.
Harvard doesn't have an extension campus. Online courses in that day were just about unheard of. You did have correspondence.
So how did that work for their family?
Well,
she
goes to Boston. He stays home and takes care of the 2 kids.
Man.
She's a single mother struggling her way through this.
Yes.
All right. And then the Dallas Morning News article, toward the end of the story, Jeff Davis makes mention. Now, Jeff Davis, for what it's worth, he thinks he's doing good things for Wendy by talking. He says she's got a break, good things happen, opportunities open up, you take them, you get lucky. That's a better narrative than what they're trying to paint. But he said that he made the final payment on her student loan from Harvard one day. She moved out the next.
How's that for timing, huh?
Amber was 21 years old and in college. Her daughter Drew was in the 9th grade when the divorce happened. Jeff Davis was awarded parental custody. Wendy Davis was ordered to pay $1,200 a month in child support. Now, both Jeff Davis and Wendy Davis indicate that the custody issue was Wendy's volunteering to give up custody of their daughter, Drew.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll be honest about that. Let's go to the phones here. Good morning. You're on the air, KXYL.
I'll give you one guess who this is.
What are you doing?
Hold on. This is the Easter Bunny.
Yes, Peter Cottontail.
Nice.
Yes. we could start a whole little crew of characters. Mighty Mouse, Peter Cottontail. Let's see, what are we going to do for you, Leland?
I'll be anything but Baby Huey.
Be the Tasmanian Devil.
There we go. I
Tasmanian
like that.
Devil. I like that. That's good.
The Baptist preacher who poses as the Tasmanian Devil.
You've had it now, Leland. You've just scourged your character.
Oh, man.
Okay, look, this Davis babe has to, like all Democrats, they got to have a sad little story. Born in a log cabin, split wood, the whole 9 yards. My kid got run over by a freight train. I had to nurse him back to health, the whole 9 yards. These people always have to have a tearjerker to stand up there for a platform. Mm-hmm. And let's just call it like they are. These are hypocrites and phonies that want to get control of the American people from the state of Texas all the way to the Maine to California.
The good news is, Dan, is there's no way in the world she's going to win.
No, she's not going to win, but you know, it's just her stepping stone to claim to fame that she was once a candidate for governor, and then she'll try to be a candidate again. These people are Democrats. Democrats never quit. They never say die. They never give up. They're incrementalists. They try to promote their socialism, Marxism, communism, take over the United States government from our education system clear to the founding, to the running of this government, such as the aspects of what we have with Obama. And I personally believe this man is speaking of Obama, is guilty of high crimes and misdemeanors, dissipation of his duties as President of the United States, and a liar in chief, to say the least.
Well, I think Dan, you're distracting me, buddy. Let's focus on one liar at a time here, okay?
Okay, partner. What do you want to start on, Wendy?
Let's keep tearing Wendy apart. We'll tear Obama apart later.
Okay, that'll be fine with me, as long as we get around to it.
He gets plenty of that. Well, Dan, listen, man, as always, great to hear from you.
Oh, thanks a lot. Goodbye.
All right, we'll see you.
All right, now, Davis is defending herself. Article in the Fort Worth Star-Telegram yesterday. She says, "We're not surprised by Greg Abbott's campaign attacks on the personal story of my life as a single mother who worked hard to get ahead. Mm-hmm. But they won't work because my story is a story of millions of Texas women who know the strength it takes when they're young, alone, and a mother."
She was blowing up Twitter yesterday with all of this.
She was. Give me just a second. She was young, alone, and a mother. She was young. She was not alone. She had a wealthy husband. Not bashing that, by the way. But she had a wealthy husband.
No, I mean, if you can get a wealthy husband, I highly recommend it.
He manned up and did the job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, he manned up, took care of his wife, took care of his children. I mean, Jeff
took care of his stepdaughter, and then they had their own together.
If Jeff Davis ran for something, he might get my vote. I mean, that's a man right there. He's going to work. He's going to make money. He's going to provide for the family and allow his wife to pursue her dreams.
Yeah.
So Wendy Davis goes to Twitter yesterday, and she says, "My story of struggle and sacrifice is not unique. It's the story of millions of Texas women. Our opponents are scared of that truth." She says that, let's see if I can find it here.
Well,
the only thing Abbott and his allies have proven with these desperate attacks is that they don't understand these Texas stories of struggle.
Yeah.
He doesn't understand struggle. Nathan Wurzel responds to her on Twitter. He says, "You know he can't walk, right?" Gabriella Hoffman, abortion Barbie is hilarious to boot. Gold digger who feigns struggle demeans a man, Abbott, who's overcome injury.
Yeah, she I think she had about 10 different tweets in a matter of about 20 or 30 minutes yesterday afternoon.
So, so she's trying to, and this has been her MO her entire political career. When she ran for city council in Fort Worth in 1996.
Yeah, she didn't.
The big money doesn't want me to get this position. The big money doesn't want me on the council, even though she outraised her opponent $40,000 to $20,000.
Man, well, she didn't have a chance from the beginning, and she's certainly not doing herself any favors with all of this.
Her campaign strategy has been our Texas stories, your stories of struggling and overcoming. Mm-hmm. We now know that she doesn't have a story, or at least the story that she gave is not her story.
It's not the whole story.
She's got to rebuild her campaign from the ground up, and she's got to quit saying things like Greg Abbott doesn't know what it means to struggle.
Yeah.
Because a man had worked his way up from a middle-class family to law school was getting ready to start his career as a lawyer when the tree fell on him and paralyzed him for life.
Yet he pushed on through.
And he did get a settlement. That settlement will set him for life, but he spent the rest of his life in public service.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I mean, Wendy's story in and of itself is not bad. What's bad is the way she tries to make it look like this world is against single mothers. I know, sister, I've been there. And she wasn't.
Yeah. Not to the degree that she's trying to paint the picture of.
She had a bad couple of years, but once she married Davis, I mean, he took care of her.
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, I'm not bashing the fact that he took care of her. But don't sit here and try to play the victim when, if you look at the big picture, she's actually had a fairly privileged life.
Yeah. I mean, compared to some stories, and you've got a couple of stories that you're raising. You know?
You know what? I can only hope that they find their dreams and then realize them and chase them.
Yeah. Well, that's what you raise them to do. 6:55 here on News Talk 102.3 and AM 1240. CBS News is coming up for you here in just a few more minutes.
The bagel craze is now here, and it's at Build-A-